Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy Luca, back with some more Dragon Ball, but this time something a little different. So I want to discuss how we can make my boy Goku Black a little bit better. We're gonna go through the whole move list, different changes and different ways that we can make Goku Black better, more enjoyable. Just as my credentials, I am not a pro player. I am just a fan of the game. I love Goku Black. He was my original anchor in my first team I had in this game. I think he's really cool, and I think it sucks that he isn't viable, quote unquote. You know, he's not as good as he could be. He definitely is lacking, and even at my current skill level, he feels lacking. So what can we do to make him not feel lacking, right? So we're gonna go through it. Every single part of his toolkit, we'll talk about it, and we'll discuss different possible changes. And I want this to be a discussion, so feel free to comment below what you think. Are these good changes, bad changes? What would you do if you were Arc System Works? What would you do? Do you like my suggestions? We can brainstorm different ideas and we'll talk about it. Goku Black is a cool character, and I want more people to play him, but I understand why people don't play him. Okay? And then just for starters, let's just talk about this, right? Goku Black is definitely a character for beginners, right? He's one of the Dragon Ball quote unquote characters, right? Goku Black, SSJ Goku, SSJ Vegeta, these guys are like, you want to learn the basics of the game, these are your guys, right? So you want them to be solid. You know, it's kind of like seeing a Ryu and Ken. You want Ryu and Ken in Street Fighter to be solid. You want people to play them. So we want Black to be good. Those other two characters need to be better too, but I don't know as much about them. We're talking about Black, alright? So we'll go into training mode and we will go into a stage and we'll show different things and figure out what kind of suggestions we'll have. All right, here we are in the training room now. Number one easiest thing that Arc System Works can do to make Goku Black better is to change one light, his down L. What if it was a low to L? Very simple change. They could do that. I don't think they necessarily have to. That's an option. He might need it, he might not. It would definitely make him more played if he had a 2L low instead of this, right? His other normals, his mediums are fine. Heavies are fine. The 2H of the gods, that's fine. They're great and dandy. So I don't suggest any real changes as far as that. Now, here's one thing that I feel like they definitely should, would be his S buttons. All right. So for this one, my suggestion is to make it actually faster. You see it has 32 frames of startup. There's been so many times where I've been clipped out of something or whatever just for throwing this out, and then like you're kind of stuck here, you know, the whole time, you know, like before you can do anything, right? Like it takes forever. So my suggestion is make it quicker. Make it maybe travel and start up like a Ki Blast. So we can look at a character like Bluku, very standard Ki Blast. All right, 27. What if his regular fast S is 27 frame startup? Slightly faster. The travel time is fine, just have it start up 5 frames faster. I don't think that's a lot to ask. Make it more in line with other Ki Blasts, you know? Maybe that could be a suggestion. Another one, so his down S, the slower one, or just regular S, make it even slower. Make it more different to these two, to the fast one. What if the slow one, he can run behind it more efficiently than he currently can? You know, just make it slightly slower so that he can run underneath it, run behind it, right? Kind of to protect himself, right? Because that is one thing about Goku Black as a character. He's kind of like SSJ Goku, except he has all these extra mobility options. He's the more mobile of, like, you know, of the standard Dragon Ball character, and I feel like that's why a lot of people like him. So make it so that he can do the slow one of this and run up behind, you know? That could be a suggestion. All right, next up on the docket, we got beams. I think his beams are alright. It's pretty standard. My only suggestion is, I bet you didn't know this, I didn't know it until just going through his move list for this video, was that Goku's Black's beam, you think, oh, it's the same as Goku's. It's 27 startup. Goku over here is 26. for no discernible reason, it's 26. Just have Black's 26. There's no reason why his is a frame slower. And I don't think that's going to be a big difference anyway, but there's no reason why Goku Black's is slower. Make it the same as regular Goku's. Just do that. That's an easy change, alright? Another big one, the alternative to the beam, the command grab. So, my suggestion for the command grab is probably what everyone's suggestion to the command grab. The issue with the command grab is that it's so slow. It's 31 frames startup. It's so slow, people hit him out. Not only do people hit him out of it, right? There's a visual and audio cue. You see Zamasu appear, and you hear Goku Black say, "Over here." Visual and audio cue, make it quicker, make it more scary. Alright? What I suggest, because he's still firing a beam right at the end of the day, right? So if you make this 26 frames, right? So it can't really be the same exact as his regular beam. So what if instead you make it 28 frames, right? So it's 2 frames slower than the regular beam, right? And 28 is like, it's that cusp where it's like, you know, it's like the other command grabs throughout the game. There's ones that are super quick and some that are slower. It's on that slower end still. It's still slower than the regular beam, but it's still quick enough to where you would have to more think about it, more have to worry about it. Another suggestion I have about this command grab, if we're gonna keep it as slow, right? What if in the corner, a lot of command grabs in the corner can lead to a combo? Why can't this lead into a combo outside of vanish? Like you have to vanish in order to combo. What if it just in the corner, somehow, some way you can just like mash light and then, you know, you get this and then you can continue the combo. And not necessarily he needs that, but that's a suggestion, you know, you're command grabbing you're already getting them in the corner. Let's get a combo, right? A lot of other characters, when they get command grabs, they'll get a combo in the corner. Let's give it to Black. You know, if we're gonna keep it this slow, where or alternate, like, just make it so that he can, maybe make it so he can combo in the corner. In the corner, only in the corner, and it has to be like all the way in the corner. He can't do it like here and still get it. Or if it is, maybe let's say half screen in the corner. I'm just thinking about the spitballing. Maybe he can do this into like medium God Slicer for sliding knockdown afterwards. Maybe that's the only thing he can combo. How about that? Or EX, right? That could be a suggestion too. There you go. There's a way to make the command grab more scary on top of, you know, speeding it up. Make it so that they can get a combo. From here you get a full combo, and then from like half screen and you do it in there close enough to the corner, you can get medium God Slicer. That'd be pretty cool, right? I think that would look pretty cool. Alright, next thing. His air key blast. It's pretty fine. It's standard. One thing you could do is have it a better angle. You know, like Super Saiyan Vegeta can hit it from like right here. Only way Black can do it is if he super jumps and does this. It's not a necessary change. I don't think they have to do it. It's just something they could do. Make it slightly better. His air key blast. Not necessary. Generally speaking, his air normals are pretty alright. Pretty standard. Pretty whatever. The one change I would do, and there's other characters that have the same issue, 21 has it, is that let's have our opponent block and crouch. So in sparking, if you do this, the light just goes over their head. You see that? So what if we just lower that hitbox just a little bit, so that's not an issue. There's other characters that have this. 21 has the same thing, you know. Alternatively, obviously, you could just do medium and, you know, whatever. That's a slight thing you can do. Not necessarily. It won't make him overpowered or anything. It's just a little thing you could do. Next change. Okay, I will say this. I started playing in Season 3. So I don't know how God Slicer used to be. A lot of people say revert God Slicer. If you think that's better, leave a detailed thing so I know exactly what it was before. But maybe all this is how it was before. But my one suggestion, so out of light God Slicer, you could see with the frame data and the advantage, so you know you're safe. But if the physical part doesn't hit, you're unsafe. Right here. So what if it was actually full screen? I mean, just what if, right? Because right here, you can punish me. I'm minus 11. What if we just make it full screen? Right? I mean, not necessary, but Something you could do. Medium's fine, EX is fine, whatever. Another change you can do is make God Slicer gel into Vanish. You know, make light gel into Vanish. That's something you could do. Again, not necessary, but something you could do to make it better. Now here's the juicy ones. Here's the juicy ones. I bet everyone's been waiting for this. So dive. Let's talk about the dive kicks. Alright. I have no issues with the dive kicks being the way they are for the most part. Okay? Now, see, the reason I say this because you have characters like Goku who also has a dive kick. And he has similar, you know, properties to them. Right? As far as like on block and whatever, right? To Black. So that's fine. I know some people would suggest like, oh, what if this was a true overhead? That's not necessary, but you could do that. Or hear me out, okay? So maybe instead of being negative on block, if you EX and you block it, make the EX one plus on block. Or make it the EX a true overhead. So the regular ones, it's not, right? Regular ones are not. And then EX1, maybe make it a true overhead. Maybe. Again, I'm just throwing out ideas on how we can buff him. One thing I want to see though is I want to see consistent behavior, especially on EX dive kick. So what happens in EX dive kick, sometimes you're in front of them. Sometimes, let me see if I can do it. Sometimes you're behind them. All right. And sometimes it's super, like in the middle of a match, it's so ambiguous whether you're going to be in front or behind them. On top of it being negative, right? So like you don't even know what's going to happen. What I suggest is have it have a consistent behavior. Whatever the behavior is. The reason I say this because you have a character like Goku who also has a dive kick. And every time he does this, this always happens. Every single time. No matter how shallow it hits. No matter how, you know, non-shallow, how deep it hits, right? If it block, it's always a consistent behavior. I want that for Goku's Black's EX dive kick. Whatever, it doesn't matter what they do. If it's always in front, always ends up on the other side, whatever, make it have a consistent behavior. It's really ambiguous and it's hard to tell what's gonna happen sometimes. I want that to be consistent, just so that you always know if they block the dive kick. Oh, you know, you're always gonna do this certain thing. You're always gonna be in front. You're always gonna be behind. Another thing they could do with EX dive kick is I was thinking about this because I've been recently playing 21 and learning her. Is that what if in a combo, right? If you do EX dive kick and call like an assist, it acts like 21's dive. So we look at a character like 21 and we do a basic combo, right? You see how she can always dive kick into an assist? She can do her dive into an assist and then continue the combo afterwards. What if, for my boy Black, we let him do that? We let him do that. So he can do something, you know, what if he could do this? And then call the assist, and then it can connect mid-screen. Let me do it over here. It can connect mid-screen. See, because that whole time when he's surfboarding on them, you can't call an assist. What if you can time it? Just let him do it. That way, they bounce off of his surfboard, get hit by the assist, and he can combo extend off of it. Why not? Just let him do that. That seems pretty cool, you know? So just more options out of that. The teleports. I think they need to be faster. That's it. They just need to be faster. That's the first thing. They need to be quicker. All three of them. And then the other thing is, they need it to be so that... Is it this way? It's this way. You getting hit? Alright, cool. So, off of level 3, this is one of the things he had, but he doesn't have. It's not real no more. If I get a knockdown, he gets away. We get nothing. We have a move called instant transmission, and this boy can't instantly transmit over there after a hard knockdown. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Let Black have that. Let him have it. Make it this much quicker so that he can get over there and they can't just backdash out of there. Just that. I don't think that's a lot to ask. And then the other thing, so these just speed them all up. That's number one. Number two, for EX teleport. All right, and this is why I have Gogeta on the team. Make it so, because keep in mind when you EX teleport, right? Here's the bad things about it currently, outside of the teleports in general being slow or whatever. It has a visual and an audio cue. So the second you hear the flash and see he puts his fingers to his head, you know this is a cross-up. You know it. You know it right away. Make it so that if you press the input and let it go, you cross up. And if you hold the input, you stay same side. Alright? They've done mechanics like this before with our boy Gogeta here. If you just tap his clones, let him rip, he just does it. Or you can hold it and he faints. And you could still choose the clones in the case of Gogeta. So what if Black can just do that? EX teleport, he holds it same side, he doesn't, crosses up. Have him do that. Alright? One thing I forgot to mention during the teleport section, another suggestion you could do for EX teleport is instead of having it choose which side you are, you could have it so that since it's EX, you get the float property like it's a super jump. So you could EX teleport float, which will allow it so during block strings and stuff, you can make it ambiguous if it's left or right. I'm not saying it necessarily has to have the one where you could choose which side you're going to be on top of also having the float property. I'm not saying it has to be both, but I think it could have one or the other. Though having both would be kind of sick. Alright, it'd be kind of sick nasty. And I think that's a suggestion we could have. What do you guys think? Anyway, back to the original video. Now the last thing, his supers. Everyone says his DHCs suck. I feel like they're kind of whatever, his DHCs currently. But just the first simple one is make it so that when you're changing into him, you get this one instead of the other one. Alright? Instead of this one. So not this one, the other one. Alright? And there's a couple of things that you have to think about why this one is kind of mediocre, alright? It depends on how much of the needles hit, depending on how much damage you get. And then, you know, instead of this one just being like a solid hit, right? But here's a good one, alright? This is another reason why I have Gogeta on the team. So imagine this, alright? Imagine this scenario, alright? I'm gonna do a combo. Basic combo. Big Bang Kamehameha. I call Bluku. He shows up. You saw how we were sky high doing Big Bang Kamehameha. We called in Bluku, and Bluku goes straight up to where we're at, right? There's a lot of supers, DHC supers, that track to where we are. So if Goku Black Goku Black's level 1 switches to this, his DHC switches to this, I want him to also track to wherever we are, alright? Super Baby 2 has this, Kefla has this, UI has this, Bluku has this. There's so many characters, the list goes on and on and on and on and on, that they have this. And then the beautiful thing too about it, and I mean it's true for all the ones that kind of go up to where you are, is that it perfectly drags you down, so then you can still continue to DHC. And then the other thing that makes it a better DHC with this level 1 is the fact that during a happy birthday scenario, this actually hits both people. Whereas this does not hit both people. Okay? And then one more thing, alright? If my boy Goku Black gets a happy birthday and he level 3s, why does the teammate drop out when you do the level 3? Why? Why? There's no reason. This looks like it should hit both, right? He slices them both. He puts them in his pillar, and all his clones are going at it, blah, 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 and he does the final slash through it. Why is it the case that during a happy birthday scenario, this level 3 doesn't hit both? How come Android 18s. How come hers hits both? Hers is a very cinematic super. How come hers doesn't? Hers hits both of them in a happy birthday scenario. Why can't Goku Black's? That's the only other thing. And that's what I think we can do to make Black a better character. He's pretty standard, and he should be solid, you know, you would think, with all the things he has going for him. So please, if whatever suggestions you might have, leave it down below. Let us know what you think. Are my suggestions good? Are they crap? Talk to me. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching the video. You can find me anywhere at Soldier Lucas. Don't forget to always take care of yourselves and have yourselves a damn good one.